Okay, I think we might just be live. I am not 100% sure about that. I'm going to wait and make sure that we start streaming through here. If you guys can see and hear me, give me a thumbs up in the comments. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Monday. Thank you, everyone, for being here. An error occurred. Please try again later. Let me see. No, it seems like we're okay. Hello. All right. So you guys can hear me and you can see me. That is fantastic. And let me just check here. If I switch over, you can see our Google Classroom. So I've got a couple of different scenes set up. I'm trying something new today where I am attempting to use some special software so that I can show you guys some different things if I want to show it to you. So no Rocket League streaming yet. Still got to work on getting the Elgato up and running. But as soon as I have that going, which is going to be soon, then I think I can try and do some Rocket League or something for you guys. Just because, I don't know, you've asked for it, and I thought that would be fun. But anyway, thank you guys for joining. Thank you so much for being here. Spread the word, please. Get the word out to any physics students that this is happening, even though I guess, to be honest, we're actually not really going to talk about physics too much today. I'm going to give you a couple of things to do and introduce something that I want to show you, but yeah, not too much physics today. We're just going to chat and talk and see how you guys are doing, and then we're going to talk some physics tomorrow when I think we'll try a Zoom conference call so that you guys can get on and we can see everybody if we want to do that. So that'll be set up for tomorrow. You cannot donate money to me, but I appreciate that, Gonzalez. So how have you guys been? How was the weekend? It was gorgeous this morning, wasn't it? I mean, with the sun shining and the snow from last night, it was like winter wonderland out there. Kind of wild, honestly. And now it's all melting. So I don't know if you got a chance to go outside this morning and just see it, because it was straight out of a fairy tale Christmas movie in March, at the end of March, which if you want to have a certain attitude about it, I guess that could be kind of depressing, but I also thought it was kind of really pretty outside. So Rise of Skywalker, nice. Rise of Skywalker, did you like it? I want to know that, Nikki, and I want to know what else you guys have been watching. I have not watched Over the Hedge yet. I still haven't, but you know what? I think I'm gonna have to do that. I think I'm going to have to finally... Ooh, here's the problem. I was going to get it from the library, and the library is closed. So how am I going to get Over the Hedge if I can't get it from the library? Don't say pirate it. It's the wrong answer. I know what you're thinking. It's the wrong answer. So don't say that. Okay, but yeah, Rise of Skywalker was good. I thought Rise of Skywalker was good. I honestly didn't hate any of those, the new three. I still, they might not have been, sorry, let me mute my laptop. They might not have been my favorite movies of all time, but I did not hate any of them, truly. So, that was cool. What does R mean? Oh, tell the libraries to open? Is that what we're going for there? I'm still not 100% sure what means, unless it's just supposed to be like I'm angry. But anyway, if you guys can't tell, I'm feeling a lot better. I never had COVID, nor did I ever think that I had COVID, but I was definitely under the weather last week. And I'm still not 100%. I'm trying to sleep and get a lot of rest, and that's been helping a lot. And so you guys should definitely be doing the same. If you're feeling under the weather, take a break and get a little sleep and take care of yourselves. And let's talk about, I don't think it's on Netflix. Let me find out right now. I don't know if I'm signed into Netflix on my Chrome account. I'm probably not. I probably shouldn't either. I don't think I'm going to do this right now because, no, you know what? We're going to pass on that. I don't want to put my login information in on there, and I honestly don't even think it's available on Netflix. 1, 2, 3 Movies is definitely not legit. You can't tell me that 123 Movies is legit. I don't think it is. I don't know. I've never looked it up. I did not get tested for the Rona. It stinks. Yeah. They stick something way up your nose. What they actually have to do is they stick something up your nose as far as it looks like. Take the measurement from your nose to your ear. And that's how far they have to put this big, long Q-tip back there. And they have to hold it there so that they get a really good sample. And then they have to do the other nostril too. So I've heard it's quite ungood. I've heard it's quite ungood. So 123 Movies pops up some interesting ads not in front of kids. Thank you. I will take that under advisement. I actually genuinely appreciate, Kevin, you telling me that. I genuinely appreciate that because that is good information to know. Otherwise, I would have potentially embarrassed myself one day, and now I am saved from embarrassment. So I thank you for that. But no, I didn't get tested. So I'm actually going to talk about, what the symptoms seem to be coming out as, and we're going to talk about that, soon. By the way, I don't know, with this new streaming software, I'm trying something new. I don't know how the connection is going. So if you ever if I ever say something that you miss or something like that and it doesn't go correctly, it's probably because I don't have a great upstream internet connection. That's one of the big requirements if you want to be like a professional game streamer, and I really don't have that available to me. So that could be part of the reason if anything I say gets dropped or missed, but what can we do? We'll just try our best. Yeah, it's a little laggy. Okay, so, and actually it looks like it got even laggier just now. Yeah, so I was looking at the stream health, and I noticed that it had kind of dipped a little bit. And so I don't know, maybe I won't be attempting this kind of streaming too much again. I don't know. For me, it actually, on my little preview window, it looks like it actually froze. But if I refresh the page, I think I'm back. Yeah, so I'm seeing the same. Google Fiber would be great. I would get it. I would get it if I could. I would get Google Fiber if I could. But anyway, let's talk about what I wanted to talk about today. So the picture assignment. Thank you for everybody who participated in this. Not everybody did. I guess it wasn't my best idea for an assignment ever. But let's see. David visited 2 friends on her birthday, so she didn't feel so bad about canceling her party. And you guys kept your distance. Oh, well, that's very blurry, but that's a very nice thing for you guys to do. So props to you for doing that and trying to at least keep your distance and respect social, what's the word I'm looking for? Social distancing while you were doing that. So respect to you guys. Ashley says, everybody eats. Oh, it's a pupper. Hello, pupper. Oh, that's so cute. I can't get my dog to eat apple. He'll eat a lot. My dog will eat a lot of stuff, but he will not eat apples. I don't know what the deal is with that. Let's see what else we got. Gonzalez. Oh, sleepy baby. Sleepy baby. Wait, what in this picture makes you happier? Is it the Fannie Mae box or is it the sleepy baby? That's what I want to know. Yeah, so Ashley, so your dog loves fruit. That's wild. I can't get my dog to eat a lot of fruit. He's just not that interested in it, to be honest with you. But that's hilarious. Let's see what else, if anybody posted any more in the assignment. We've got a couple of them. Paul has breakfast eggs. I like it. That looks delicious. Honestly, for me, and I just noticed the mug in the background. You know what? We're actually going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that mug in the background and why that is actually a very important message. But for my taste, a little too many eggs. Too many eggs and not enough bread. So Kevin, it actually makes the couch is actually what is your favorite. I can dig it. That's cool. And then this was Diego. This is a laptop that you built. I don't know if he's on the stream right now. I haven't seen him comment so far, but if anybody knows, is that a laptop that Diablo built, or is that a computer he bought or a computer he built, I guess is what I'm trying to ask. But he's got the cat and the Purell, and he's got the water bottle there. So that's great. That's a great combination of things to have. I love it. I love it. That's genius. So thank you for you guys who participated in that. I appreciate that. And actually, let's get to today's topic at hand and talk about what I want to talk about today, which is setting some goals for yourselves for the next couple of weeks. I don't know if you heard, but we are definitely going to be e-learning for at least another week longer, as the state lockdown will continue into April. And so what that means is that we're going to have to keep figuring out a way to stay productive and stay healthy while that is happening. David, you said, a couple of guys said they think he built it. That's real cool. I built my computer. I don't know if I can really show it to you with all the wires that I have. My setup is kind of jank, to be honest with you guys, with all the different wires I have going around here. So I don't know if I can actually show you the one I built. I'll try. It might be a little disorienting for a second. Let's see if I can try. I don't think it's going to work. And I think I'm back now. Okay, thanks. I fixed it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I don't know what I would do without you in my life. What does Peep the Fit mean? That's what I want to know. And we are not doing e-learning over spring break. We are not doing e-learning over spring break. But the quarantine or the shelter in place or whatever will be extended beyond spring break. So we are not going to be going back to school. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Respect the drip, Karen. Respect the drip. That's what I have to say about that. But anyway, where was I? We're not going to be going back to school after spring break. This is going to be continuing. So let's talk about it. I saw a video over the weekend. I actually really want to just get through this and get it over with as quickly as possible, so that we can all go about our days. I saw a video this weekend by an astronaut named Chris Hadfield. He's a Canadian astronaut. You've probably seen him on some documentary I've shown called One Strange Rock, if I've shown that to you this year. So he has a lot of experience with isolation, living up in a spaceship in a dangerous environment where a lot of things can go wrong. And he has his crew that he's with, a couple of other people, and he's got some connection to Earth and to the people on Earth, very similar to the type of connection we have. I don't think he can two-way live video chat. I think he can probably send emails, make phone calls, record videos and send them, and people can probably record videos and send them to him, but I'm not positive if they can do an actual two-way video chat. So he's definitely experiencing social isolation when they're in space. Now, there's one thing here we have to keep in mind, to be fair, is he chose that life, right? That is absolutely something that he trained for, and he chose to go up in space and submit himself to that social isolation. So that was his choice that he went through to do that, okay? So his situation is a little different than ours because we're here and we don't have a choice, right? We're stuck in this situation. And so we do have to kind of be mindful of that. But how can we make the best of it given that this is where we're at, right? So how do you stay productive and healthy in this situation? Because humans, we are social. It's natural for us to need connection with other people. That is a normal part of human life. How do you stay productive and take advantage of this situation for yourself? So he's saying, we do 4 steps basically on the spaceship. And the first one is to know the risks and understand the risks and understand that in the worst case scenario, what would you do and what would you happen? That's why astronauts train for when things go wrong, to be prepared, right? So you need a reliable source of information to tell you what are the risks. And so I want to kind of share my take on it with you guys for this. And I know it's kind of a little bit scary, but my goal is not to scare anybody. If you think about what the risks are for people your age, people my age, they're not very high, less for you guys even than they are for me. If one of us were to come down with this disease, what we would feel is very, very tired and out of breath for a couple of days to a week. Basically, it's the kind of out of breath where just getting through a sentence, you would be winded. You would be out of breath. So extreme difficulty and shortness of breath. What you would need to do is rest. Take it easy and chill for a couple of days, and you'd get better. For, 99% of cases for people our age. And there is that 1% of cases for people our age that would need extra support. So it's not necessarily you're going to be fine for everybody. There are still risks. You might have an underlying condition that you don't even know about at this point in your life. So you still have to be careful. These are not new symptoms. These are just descriptions, better descriptions of the symptoms that I've heard. So shortness of breath, where it's extreme shortness of breath. Not like you just ran 2 miles and you're tired. No, like you can't even get through a sentence. Fever is still out there, where it might be up and down, chills, not feeling good. So they're not new symptoms, John. These are just the description of what you or I might feel like if we went through this. So what's the risk for us for getting it? Well, it's not super high. It would stink. It would be terrible. We don't want that. Okay? Nobody wants to have this, but we would survive. Probably. It's not worth the risk, honestly. In my opinion, it's not worth the risk. Even if the chances are very small, it's not worth the risk. What is the risk of you giving it to somebody else? And that seems to be very high. And what is the risk of you giving it to somebody who will not handle it as well as you? What is the risk of you giving it to somebody who is more elderly, who would need hospital treatment, who would need perhaps a ventilator? So when this disease progresses to worse and worse states, what people need is a ventilator, which if you guys don't know what that is, it's a machine where they stick something down your throat and into your lungs, and it breathes for you because you can no longer actually breathe on your own. Whew, that is not a good way to live. But people can get through it. They need a week or 2 sedated and on ventilation for their body to recover. And then after that, it is very possible that they will have lifelong permanent lung damage after that is over, where they'll lose lung capacity that they may never get back. These results are very scary. I'm not trying to scare you guys because it's not likely that any of us will experience this. But what I'm trying to say is, what are the chances that you spread it to somebody who would experience things that way? Somebody who is older, somebody who is less healthy. The chances of you going through these symptoms are very low, so don't be scared for yourself. But you want to take precautions to not spread it. That's the only message that I'm trying to send. We have to be careful to not wish that fate upon anybody. So check this out, actually. I want to show this to you guys. This is actual data of what's going on in the state of Illinois. I've been tracking it since really February 29th, or I guess actually January 24th was the very first day that there was a case in Illinois. And then that was actually a guy in Arlington Heights. He spread it to his wife. So it stayed within their household. He spread it to his wife. And then nothing else really happened for a while until February 29th. Now, once we hit February 29th, we start seeing this exponential growth. So this is the total number of cases by day. I'm updating this every day. I'm keeping track of how many new cases there are per day. That would be the first derivative. And I'm also keeping track in the change in the number of new cases every day. That would be the second derivative, which is much more difficult to get useful information from. You can see it's kind of all over the board because the second derivative can get really messy. The first derivative is interesting, and it definitely shows you that every day that goes by, there are an increasing number of new cases. That's what's called exponential growth. So here's the graph. The solid darker blue line is the real actual cases so far, and then the lighter blue line that extends upwards is the exponential fit. And you can see we have an R-squared value of 0.996, which is a pretty much perfect fit. It's really good. So when we extrapolate our model and look at what we're expecting to happen, here is the extrapolated equation, and this is Friday. 3/27, this is Friday this week. I am predicting using this model that we are going to have around, sorry, my head is blocking it, I'm realizing. We're going to have around 6,300 cases in the state of Illinois by the end of this week. And Kevin, you're right, there are not enough tests going on. Our rate of testing is also increasing exponentially. That is really good news because we need to be testing. So more testing is a good thing. Our rate of testing is increasing exponentially, and that is really good. But here's the scary part. So 6,300 cases in the state by Friday, confirmed, and probably more cases out there of people who don't even get tested because Kevin is right, there aren't enough tests. So probably, this 6,300 is just the confirmed cases. There's more out there that don't even ever become a statistic because the symptoms aren't severe enough to warrant that person getting tested. They can recover at home just by resting. It'll be miserable, like I was talking about a few minutes ago, but they'll recover. Now here's where this gets scary, right? If 5% of those 6,300 cases need critical care, and that seems to be a pretty realistic benchmark. And some of those people need ventilators. Let's say that 5% is about 300, if I'm doing my math right. It's a little more than 300 people who would need critical care. And some of those, or most of those, might need that mechanical ventilator, a machine that's breathing for you. Currently in the state of Illinois, we have around 300 ventilators available, free, not already being used. So by the end of this week, there could be about 300 more people who need a ventilator, and we have around 300 ventilators available in the state. If you can't see why that's a bad thing and why that's a problem, I think you need to slow down and rethink that a little bit, because what happens for the next patient who needs a ventilator and there isn't one available for them? What are you going to do, right? So that's really the problem with this situation. That's why they say we need to flatten the curve so that people who need that critical care, who more likely than not will not be you or me, but the people who need that critical care will be able to get it. I realize I actually can't probably type numbers in because there we go, that's fine. So that's a little scary. And that's why this social distancing thing is so important. I'm not saying this to scare you guys, saying this to know why do we have to social distance, because there's a lot of people who are talking about how it doesn't seem that important. Why should we do this? Why do we need to do this? There's only 9 people in the state who have died. Well, that number will get a lot higher if we overrun our hospital system. That's why this is important. I hear my puppy coming to say hello. So, to add a little brevity to the situation, it's your dog. Hello, dog. Cat kisses? Thank you. All right, so we were talking about some really heavy, really scary stuff. All I'm trying to do is let you guys know the importance of taking social distancing seriously. And now that we've gotten through that here's my dog. Oh, he's a good boy. Yes, he is. And parties can wait, preach. Thank you, Kevin. I really think that your generation, you guys have so much empathy and so much understanding for each other and for the world. And this is one of the best times to be alive, that I would count on you guys to be able to handle this social distancing thing and take it seriously, where maybe there's a lot of older people who don't have that worldview, that ability to think about somebody other than themselves. Because what does it come down to really, right? It comes down to selfishness. So if you are not selfish, then you will be able to take this seriously and you will be able to do the right thing. But if you are selfish, then that will lead to problems that we've talked about, right? So I hope you guys have my back on that, on taking this seriously. And if everybody does that, we're going to be okay. So step one is know the risks. We just talked about the risks. But now that we're done with that, what do we do next? We figure out our mission. What is the mission? And this is what I'm going to ask you guys to do today. I want you guys to set goals for this week or this month. It's really important to do that. It's really important to set goals that are obtainable as well. And so we'll talk about that. Here's the thing with goal setting. You have to set goals that you will actually be able to achieve, which is why step 3 is to know your constraints. So let me talk about this for a second. Here's my story. Here's an analogy or a story, a true story that happened a few years back. A couple years ago, the Chicago Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup. They won the Stanley Cup. It was a shortened season, right? So the season was a little bit shorter than normal because there was a player strike. I don't know if any of you guys are hockey fans, you remember this, but even if you're not a hockey fan, you can still understand the analogy. So there was a shorter season because there was a strike, and where was I going with this? Oh, well, that season the Blackhawks happened to win the Stanley Cup. They were the champions. What were they doing during that strike? So when they were on strike, yeah, right, lockout. Thanks, Nikki. It wasn't a strike, it was a lockout. You are correct. Thank you for that. They were not sitting on their hands. They were overseas in different leagues. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth treating. Well, all right, so anyway, it's a little laggy. There's probably nothing I can do about that. Probably won't try this again. But anyway, where was I? So, the Hawks, they went out, they worked, they practiced, they played in international leagues. They kept their skills up, they kept their stamina, their training. They were better prepared to come back. And when they came back, they won the cup. Pretty cool. So, where was I going with this? They didn't just sit around. They took advantage of it. You guys have advantages now. You have a chance to take advantage of something. You might have an SAT coming up. There are certain things in your life, in your futures, that are not going to be going away. So there's certain things, right, that are not going to go away in your life. College applications, SAT. If you guys are able to spend some time actually working on those things and practicing, you will give yourselves an advantage over the people who are just sitting around here at home. Imagine this, you're writing a college essay, and you're writing this college essay and you're trying to say, this coronavirus lockdown was a really difficult time for me and my family's life. We were going through challenges. There was X, Y, or Z going on, but I tried to take advantage of that situation by doing this. I tried to improve my grades. I learned a new language. You've got apps on your phone where you could try and learn French or something like that. You could do any of those things. Give yourself a leg up. for your academics, for your SAT practice. I know the stream is really laggy right now, so just bear with me. I'm going to end soon. So that's important. What else can you do? Maybe you have an instrument laying around the house that you want to learn how to play. You can learn how to play that instrument. Maybe you want to just exercise, get a little stronger, lose a little weight, try and be a little healthier. If you're an athlete, there's plenty of workout that you can do at home where you never need to, have any equipment even. It's just body weight exercises where you can get stronger. And when you come back to your sport, you're going to actually be a better athlete because of that. So you can continue to work on your conditioning. There's so many different types of goals that you guys can set for yourselves right now. You need to choose one and set it. Maybe you want to learn more about physics. Maybe you want to learn more about some other subject. Maybe you want to study for that SAT. Maybe you want to get a head start on writing some college essays. Maybe you want to read a book. Maybe you want to learn how to play an instrument. Maybe you want to work out and get healthier. You got to be creative and know your constraints, because you can't always do everything. You have to know what's realistic. But ask for help. Ask for help. If you need help with anything, ask for it. I have SAT study resources, for example. If you want to know what are, good body weight exercises that you can do at home with zero equipment. Obviously, okay, let's be honest with each other here. I am not a fitness instructor. I'm not fooling anybody, but I know where to find the resources. I can direct you to them. Okay, even if I'm not a personal expert on them, I can direct you to those resources. So ask for help. If you have constraints and you need something, ask for help. But set some goals. And then once you have done those things, the fourth step is to act. And I will tell you this, and I know this to be true, sometimes getting started is the most difficult part, right? Sometimes getting started is the hardest thing to do. Once you read that first page, though, and you start going, and you're good, and you're going, and you're good, once you get that routine established, and getting started is the hardest part. So act. Take action. That's what I want you guys to do for today. I'm going to post an assignment on Google Classroom where you guys are getting the assignment to share what your goals are and talk to each other about it and ask for help if you need it. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about chemistry, and we're not going to do this live stream because it was really laggy and probably not a good experience for a lot of you guys, and so I do apologize for that. Seems like the stream health has been better over the past couple of minutes, but I don't want to risk it again. And yeah, there you go, Kevin. That's perfect. Do something to better yourself, to improve your life, something that you can be proud of, something that you could say, this was a really bad situation, but I managed to make the most of it and take advantage of it. Or, as Paul's cup would say, words of wisdom. So I want you guys to think about that. And then when we, oh, Lily, I didn't even see that. I don't have a picture, but I bought a fish. I love it. I love it. That's amazing. That's perfect. I never even saw that. I'm glad that I came back and actually looked at this again. That's great. So that's the assignment. Tomorrow we'll do a Zoom video conference. You guys do not have to be on video if you don't want to be. And if you choose to be on video, I am going to set some rules where I'm going to ask you guys to, be appropriate. Be appropriate in what you say. Be appropriate in how you dress. Let's treat this like we're going to school. Just throwing that out there. We'll do that tomorrow, and we'll talk a little physics. I'm going to post these instructions on Google Classroom for an assignment for you guys to do tonight. And like I said, all this came from astronaut Chris Hadfield, Canadian astronaut who has spent a lot of time in social isolation and knows a thing or two about how to get through it. So I'll also post a link to the YouTube video that he actually made. It's only like 3 minutes long, so you can watch it. And as he would say at the end of his video, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, take care of your spaceship. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to cut the stream. I'll stick around and answer any comments that you guys might have. I will see you tomorrow. Look in Google Classroom for the instructions to download and get ready for our Zoom conference. And take care of your spaceship. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll talk to you soon.